Hey everybody, it's TR, and I thought I'd mix it up a little bit today. I'm right in the middle of my mid-century ranch home renovation project, and so I thought maybe I'd just kind of show you what my typical day looks like. I'm going to just finish up my last little sip of coffee, and then that's my workstation, and I'm downloading video from yesterday. Come on, find me. Here's my fancy dancy little dimmer that some people asked about the other day. Let's see, do I have everything? What do I do with my glasses? There they are. It has a hard time following me as I move through the darkness. Hopefully it'll find me again. Come on, I'm right here. This face tracker is. It works sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't work when you want it to. It's kind of weird. See, it lost me there. Okay, come on, find me, Mr. Face Track. It's not everything it's cracked up to be, that's for sure. There we go. Alright, so we're just coming in. I guess I'll show you the flotsam and the jetsam. It's a construction zone, alright. So my poor little shop vac over there, I'm going to have to replace. I let the magic blue smoke out of my shop vac. So as the progress report goes, hang on here, let me do two things. Let's get some light. Turn off the noisemaker for a minute. So in the form of a progress report, that wall is completely done with the texturing, and I'll be priming it probably starting tomorrow, maybe late this afternoon, we'll see. I still need to skim coat this wall with the texture. This whole area here is now all masked off, and the texture's on the wall, and it has been knocked down, scraped off. I had to make a couple patches in this wall. Here's something fun that I found as I've been working, and I didn't realize it until I started plugging things in. Half the electrical outlets are upside down, so like that one, the ground is on the upside. They're not grounded anyway, but that is typical of this house. I'll tell you what, I bet I have found 20 different types of screws. And used in the mounting of the same thing, there might be 2 or 3 different types of screws. It's really interesting. It's like they had a screw box and they just used whatever they could find. And the electrical outlets are kind of the same way. So we have this type. This type, that's a Decora type Leviton that's ivory. Here's another Decora, also ivory. And a Decora over here. Now you come into this room, and then here's this Leviton Decora, again mounted upside down. And then we're going to really roll back time, and we got an old 2-pronger right here. Of course, I have plans to change all those outlets and the switches, by the way, because I've noticed a real problem, and this is something I've discovered in a couple of spots, and I'm sure I'm going to find it everywhere as I go around and I start to change out all these outlets. But so this outlet here, it's in the wall by the kitchen. Watch this. That arc tells me that that plug is probably in pretty rough shape. I bet it's been arcing for a long time. It's about to fail, and I'm going to have to get that out of there. So I quit using it. Every time you plug something in, it sparks like that. You get a really strong ozone smell, and so it's pretty bad. So in the bedroom here on this one, and I have it out right now because I had to really work on this box. It was all cracked out and busted. But when I went to pull this out, this cap came off, and those wires weren't twisted. They were just in there loose, and they were using the wire nut. And that's a bad situation. So, oh, and so as a tour, this wall has all been textured. I'm not texturing the cabinet here, and actually I still need to clean it. That wall's textured. So that wall is the wall that had the big old hole out of it. I'll put a little inset here and show you. And so it's basically done. That's where that patch is. Of course you can't see it. It's perfect. It's perfect. Okay, don't hurt yourself. Pat yourself on the back, TR. Come on, flip it back around there. So anyway, it turned out really good, except I have a couple of wowies I got to come back and fix. I had some lift off right here, and then I had some lift off here. I accidentally slopped some mud over there and didn't catch it. And by the time I got back to it, it had softened it, so I'll have to come back in and I'll patch these and then I'll retexture. So I want to shout out to Randy Waller. I forgot we got the footage left on last time I did video because I didn't have my quote back for the AC unit. But I promised him I'd show him my new guys' my HVAC system. So the water heater is a Ream. It's about 5 years old. They replaced this. Apparently this is a code pipe now. The one that was on it wasn't meeting code. So that was a problem. And then I had them install this. That's a drip leg. It was missing. My guess is it was homeowner replaced, and so it was done just the best way they could figure out. And I suspect that they didn't realize that you need a drip leg. Also, it used to be an electric water heater. And so I'm not sure what this switch is. It just says not functioning. Oh, there's some fuses, which is not that unusual. Painted fuses, by the way. Here, let me get around here so you can see that. Painted fuses. All right, so the furnace then is a Bryant. It was inspected, and it passed. He did a test on the heat exchanger, and it was working perfectly. They added a filter. He just changed it out, put a fresh one in. The one that was here was pretty nasty. So with respect to the AC, here's the compressor, and it needed Freon, and the way it worked out was it was going to be 4.25 pounds of Freon, and that's R12 at $80 a pound. And so it was going to work out to what? That's almost $400 to charge it with Freon just to find out it was leaking. I suppose we probably could have put a partial charge in, set the pressure, and watched it. But, either way. But either way, it was going to be expensive. So I just had them go ahead and quote me a new. So I got a quote for a new compressor and then new cooling coils. That's this right here, are the cooling coils for the AC. And this is the supply and return lines for the AC. The thing of it is that when I did my first inspection of the house, I saw that, and many of these other things that I'm pointing out. That's why I had the professionals come in and work on my gas equipment. The one question I have is that right here, this is the vent from the water heater. All right. So then we have that pipe that comes along here, and then it comes here and it ducts underneath this duct. And then over here, let's see, come on. And then over here and out of the house through the sill. And I can't figure out if that's code. I asked the guy that was here working on the water heater. He said no. I've never seen anything like this other than, having to go around the duct. But what I don't get is that right up here. But if you can see this, they could have came right over here and gone right out that sill. So I don't know. I guess maybe because these other pipes were here, they didn't want to mess with that. But it sure doesn't make any sense. Then the dish or the disposer, which is this electric cable right here. Okay, that's the disposer from the sink. It's also tied in right here. I got to point this out. That's the ground. Yeah, wrapped to that pipe. So of course I'm abandoning the disposer, And the main reason I'm doing that is because if you look right here, so here's our sink drain, okay, coming down from the sink. And it goes in here and it goes to this sump. All right. So what's going to happen is if you take and have a disposer like that and you're sending, ground up food through the drain, it's accumulating in that sump. And that's going to become a real problem because eventually the pump down in there is going to jam up and have to, and require maintenance. It does have this alarm. And that's designed to let you know that for some reason the sump pump is not working. So if it fails, that alarm's going to go off. All right, so sorry I left that footage out. I just decided I'd re-record it and share that with you today as far as sort of the mechanicals. All of this stuff I was expecting. The inspection on the furnace with the filter cost around $95. The water heater service, changing out that pipe and fixing this. This is a new hose bib, and I had the plumber do that while he was here. I had fought with that, and I tried to get it loose, but I was afraid if I wrenched on it too hard, I was going to twist that copper pipe and break it, and that would have been a real problem, because then I'd have had to do something else. Now, I've done copper piping, and I could have done it myself, but I figured, well, while he's here, he does it all the time. I don't have to worry about it. So that was $200 total for the pipe, and then the spigot. We're making decent progress. Mechanicals are all taken care of. So here we are back up in the living room, dining room area, and we're pretty much going to be cleaning things up today. We're going to put away all the tools that we're done using, like all the sheetrock tools, all the sheetrock mud will get put away in the garage, that kind of stuff. Start to clear space out because when I start to paint, I have to have pretty open floor space, and I think it just is best to do it that way. So I left the carpets in as protection for the floors, and we really haven't got a good look at the floor, so I'm going to take you in here and let you see. All right, so here's all that tack strip that I'm having to remove. It was all around in here. I got a real problem there. I got to get in there, and there's some nails in there around the back side of that I'm going to have to get something to pull them out. But here's a good look at the floors. They're not in bad shape. There's a problem here. Okay, that problem is caused by this. Let's see, can you see? We can't quite see that. I'll show it to you from outside. There has been some water come in. It doesn't look like it's got into the wall because the wall's in okay shape. So I got to wonder if it was just flooding this window. This was just jam-packed full of caulk, like they were trying to seal it up. And it's filthy, so there was a lot of dirt and stuff sticking in there. So I got a problem right there. I'm thinking, from the looks of it, I might be able to remove the floor from this closet and use it to patch here. And if I need a little bit more, I could remove the floor in that closet. I would just replace those floor with some of that engineered flooring, that click together stuff. So that's pretty much where I'm at. So if you like this day in the life format type video, give me a thumbs up. Those are always appreciated. And if you're not subscribed, do subscribe, because I have a lot of work still to do on my mid-century ranch home renovation project. Your support of my Amazon store is greatly appreciated. It helps a lot. You can follow me on social media. I am trying to post more regularly on Instagram and Facebook. Links to my social media are in the description below. Questions or comments, you can make those below. Those are always appreciated. But for now, it's time to go. Thanks for watching. I sure do appreciate it. Till we get together the next time, peace.